Hello, everyone. It's Nicole here, and it's a pleasure to be able to join you for another episode of my vlog. I haven't been vlogging for some time because, as you might recall, I said I was going to be taking a break so that I could focus on finding a job. Well, guess what? I found a job, and it's quite an interesting one. So I'll tell you more about that later. But I just wanted to come on at the end of my first week in my new role to say hello, to let you see that I'm fine. And most people know that I'm fine because I'm very resilient. And I've had to learn resilience over the years and learn emotional intelligence in terms of understanding that resilience doesn't mean that you go until you break. So yes, it's a time of great uncertainty, but one thing is certain is that there is always going to be change. The UK, England, has gone into a second lockdown after the first that happened early in the year. So we are housebound, and I'm working from home. So I have my little office, which is my dining table, and making the most of it because we're all in it together. So yes, I am now at the end of my first week as the regional head of nursing for London at Health Education England. It sounds fancy. It's a job that I take very seriously because it's a job that has great influence in terms of how we educate and train the nurses of today, midwives, AHPs, and all healthcare practitioners of today and the future. And that's something that we have to take seriously because, as we have learned, or some of us have been reminded, the role that nurses, health visitors, midwives, healthcare practitioners, and in general play is pivotal to society, global society. In every corner of the world, we've seen in 2020, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the impact that nurses and midwives have. Is the International Year of the Nurse and the Midwife, and we have to use the opportunity to shine a positive light on the work that we do, because if we don't, who will? If we are not the main proponents of and cheerleaders of our professions, who can we expect to do it? We have to put our money where our mouth is and step up, and if we're not able to recommend our profession, ask ourselves why and what we're doing to make a change, and each of us has a role to play in that. Some of us can make change at different levels, but change only happens when we're united, that we come together, that we realize we build bridges and not walls, and that we're stronger together. Other things have happened this year that I've spoken about in previous episodes of my vlog about race equality. So yes, I'm doing work in terms of equality, diversity, and inclusion because at my core, I truly believe that we're all equal, and that I will be vocal when needed to reinforce that message in a collaborative and compassionate way, of course. But nevertheless, what needs to be said will be said. And I think we have to have ears that listen, and we have to listen to understand and not just listen to respond. And we are creating safe spaces to talk about the elephants in the room. So yes, I shall be back periodically to vlog. I won't have as much time as I did before because, as you can imagine, working from home and using the virtual platforms, it is time consuming and it's tedious at some points, and you have to read in between, and you have to really digest material so that you can challenge, and you have to have a high challenge, high support. So yes, it's a time of great learning and sharing, but recognizing what strengths and what your talents are, and then working on your areas of development. We don't call it weakness, we call it areas of development. So yes, I've been contacted by people, to congratulate me, and I really appreciate it. And I am a very measured person, so I will show emotions at times in terms of how I respond to the role. But as you will have probably seen, I'm taking it very seriously because I am honored to have this opportunity to serve, and I see leadership as being a privilege and not a right. Yes. So I'm honored to be able to serve at a regional level. And I'm sure that one day I'll serve at a more national level and even international, because we're not putting limits on where we will go. We're not scrupulous people, so we won't stand on anybody's back or neck to get ahead. We will do the work and we will reap our blessings. So yes, just wanted to touch base. People have been saying, why don't you vlog? Even my own dad said to me, Nick, you haven't done a vlog for a long time. I said, no, I haven't. And people have been saying I could share poems. But when you have tapped into your creative side, it's not something that you can just switch on and off as people make a request. You have to really feel a need to add your voice, and that your voice is necessary. So sometimes we go quiet, and that's when we're in observation mode. And it's good to observe, because when you stay quiet, you hear more. When you're always rabbiting on, you miss stuff. So yes, I like to observe and see what's going on. But it's important for us to keep connected because of social isolation, especially as we go back into the lockdown and what that entails. And some of us were really badly affected by the first lockdown. So we know that we need what we need to look out for, and we need to keep ourselves in the loop and not take ourselves away from help that is available for our mental and our physical health. So yes, just touching base. I'm grateful for all the blessings, and I am hoping that everyone is coping in whatever issues they find themselves in. And I urge you to look for the blessings instead of the problems, because I tell you, it would be easy to just focus on the problems and miss the blessings, and that would be a travesty. So yes, it's a Friday afternoon coming up to 6 in the UK, and I wish for you a positive weekend. I urge you to seek out opportunities, and I urge you to get in touch with people who you trust if you're struggling with 2020. But not wish away 2020, because we don't know what 2021 will bring. So that's where that resilience that I mentioned at the start of my vlog comes in handy. Let us just brace ourselves for what might come next. I'm watching on the telly the issue about the US election and when it will be over. And I send solidarity out to my friends and family in the US, because I tell you, it cannot be easy going through what you're going through at the moment. So we wish you well, whatever happens. And yeah, I shall do some more poetry soon, and if you have any ideas as to what you'd like to hear me talk about in future vlogs, it doesn't necessarily have to do with nursing. It could be about health, it could be about well-being, it could be about life. Or if you want to get my views on a certain issue, reach out. Yeah, we all need to look out for each other. I get asked a lot to look at assignments and for ideas about where to look for resources. So that's quite interesting, because I always value my librarians, so I'll always send people in that direction. But if I have access to resources that I can signpost to, of course I will. And yes, it's important to just get a critical friend to look at your essays and so on. So I won't be able to do it for everyone, but I do help where I can. But yes, it's important that we rest. And I found that I haven't been resting as much as I should have. And that's something that I'm going to make sure that I get my work-life balance better. Because working from home, there's a danger that you won't get your work-life balance right. So just hopping on to say hello, to say I'm fine, to say I'm just finding my feet over the next couple of weeks in this new role. And you'll see me putting stuff on social media. Interact, tell me what your issues are. Someone said better pay. Look, I can influence, I can raise issues, but this issue is a long-standing one that there is a plan and there are appropriate channels to take it. So, yeah, we won't be able to help in every way, but of course we are advocates and we are the voice of the people, so we will ensure that we keep our ears in tune with what's happening on the front line and advocate on your behalf where you may not be able to do so. So yes, it's about compassionate transformational leadership, inclusive transformational leadership, but at the same time having the conversations that need to be had. So the next time I come on here, I hope to have a poem that I've written about my transition from working 20 years in provide a year almost in commissioning and now into the regional work, and how I found it, a bit of reflection and bit of advice for those who might be thinking that this might also be somewhere where they would like to see themselves in the future, because it's important that we lift as we rise. And we're not here just for our own glorification. We're here to really pave the way and be trailblazers so that others won't have to necessarily struggle the way that we have struggled. It's important that we make a difference, that we use our voice, and that we share our journey to inspire and motivate others. So have a good weekend, whatever you plan to do. Be safe, stay well, and keep in touch. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and tell a friend. Yeah, it's important that we help each other, especially in these times, even more so now. So until next time, take care, and I'll be in touch soon. Bye.